Where were you when you were a kid? Where did you grow up at?
I was in Mannheim, and I remember I was about 6 years old. I went to school, and everything was still quiet. So I don't know if I was in school for 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure. And then when the sirens went off more often, we have less in the school. But then they bombed the surrounding areas, so the school was closed. And then we had an organization in Mannheim where they sent children, they want to get out of the danger areas.
Yeah.
They send them away to safe places.
So get them out of Germany and
Yes,
to
to
other
out of
places
Mannheim.
that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when, just real quick, when you were 6 years old, like what time period was that? Like 1940?
Well, what year were you born?
32.
1932. Okay, so this
Okay,
would have been
so
like
it's
38, 39.
Gotcha.
So my mom said, you got to, both of my brother, my youngest brother and myself. So I was the first one to get picked. Of course, I was tiny, and you know.
You were the pretty one, is what you. That was the way I always heard the story.
Yeah. And I really had good people. They took me in. They were rich people, okay?
And this was in France?
Yes. It was outside of France, you know. Small town, I forgot the name of it. And I had it made because they had only one son, and he was a baker. Boy, the good cakes he brought home. And I really should have been happy there, but I wasn't, because she wouldn't let me go see my friends, surrounding friends, you know. Okay. She wanted me to be more with her friends. And I got more and more homesick. And my mom came and visited, and everything was still okay then. But then they mentioned to adopt me. That was it. I saved my money up. I had an allowance every week from them. And one day I went on the train and I went home. I left everything behind.
So this is, you're going from France back to Germany during this time? Okay.
Because
How old were you?
they said they wanted to adopt you, right?
Yeah, they wanted to adopt me, and that scared me. So I took off.
Because you were at 6 years old at this time?
No, I was a little older, maybe 8, 9, I would say, you know.
And then what time did you separate from your parents? At 8 or 9 is when they separated you from and moved you to France from your parents?
Yeah. And then I didn't stay too long with friends. I would say maybe 6, 8 months.
Okay.
And then I went back home.
But still at 8, that's wild.
And my mom was so mad.
And you you went back alone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So alone at
From France to Germany alone?
Alone.
And you bought a ticket by yourself. You saved up.
Yes. I was every day on the train station. I said, I want to go home, but I don't have enough money, you know. So I said, I'm going to save all my money, all my allowance. And one day I did it. I just went, you know. So like I said,
most 8-year-olds today don't know how to order a pizza on the phone.
it's true.
I take my 9-year-old to the bus because I don't
Really?
think he can make it.
No.
And that's 2 blocks away.
In a way, when I went home, she was pretty upset, my mom.
Yeah.
And I said, don't send me back, please, you know. I don't want to go back. I want to be with you. So that was number one. Then they were bombing Mannheim for the first time. And we had, at the time, we had a room in the underground bunker. Okay. Every night we spent the night there.
Okay.
Yeah. Daytime we went home. But sometimes the siren went off, so we go to different cellars, you know, whatever we were close by. And that one day we were looking for food because we were rationed at the time. And we had about half a loaf of bread a week, you know. Yeah. We even eat, I hate to say that, horse meat. It was pretty good at the time. And we had nothing, right?
Meat's meat.
If you've ever had Taco Bell, then you've had it too.
Yeah.
So, where was I?
I said the bunkers.
Yeah.
This is 1940-ish, or?
Oh, don't ask me for this.
Oh, you're good, girl. You're
I
good.
don't remember the years.
It's all right.
You know, I don't.
Early 40s, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know 100% the age either. You know,
Yeah,
but
you're good.
pretty close. So that day, we went to the bunker and they were bombing. Matter of fact, one of the bombs hit the bunker, but it didn't injure nobody.
Okay.
You know, it was pretty close, but it was okay. And I don't know if I should tell you that story. We had bunk beds, 2, 4, 6 bunk beds in that room. There was my mother on the bottom. I was on the second. My brother was right on the second one and the other one. And friends of ours were with us. They were good friends. And we always left the door open about like this so we get a little light into the room. And
that's the door to like the outside hallway in the bunker or to the
yeah,
outside?
there were light on the outside.
Because this is underground. This is no light. It's just pitch black if that door is closed.
No, there were lights.
Okay, there is
There
lights.
was-
Okay.
Yeah. But because we didn't want to sleep with the light on, we left the door open to get light from the hallway. So I woke up. You ever smell somebody that smokes a lot? I
Yes,
mean, heavy
Connor.
smoker.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah.
No,
What did I do?
I mean heavy.
Connor.
I smoke a lot of cigarettes on mine, sorry.
And I woke up, and there was a tall guy standing right in front of my bed. I was uncovered, okay? I had pajamas on, though. And I thought, I was scared. Of course, I was a young girl, you know. And I didn't want to scream, so I just moved back from the bed to the wall, and I tried to wake my brother up. And my brother said, there she goes again. She got a nightmare, because I did have nightmares sometimes, you know, from the war. And I said, please, I beg somebody. No, he went to close the door, see, and it was pitch black. And that's what really scared me. And I said, please, somebody get up and turn the light on. There's somebody in here, you know. Like I said, my brother says she's got nightmares. But the lady that we know, she says, I get up, Erica. She says, I turn the light on. So he was laying on a bench in the room, right? Like he was sleeping, but he wasn't sleeping. You know, I know better. And they called the manager from the underground bunker and the preacher. And they came in and they said, sir, you don't have a place to stay? Or you need, you know. He wouldn't answer, like he was sound asleep. I said, he's not sleeping. He was just standing here, you know. And so my dad, the guys, they were across the hall, my dad and other guys, they came over and they got then shook him, you know, and says, look, you need someplace to stay, or what is it, you know? And all of a sudden he jumped up and he ran out of the room and he said something in a different language. We didn't know what it was. But he had a German uniform on, but it was not complete. He only had a jacket on, you see. And he went right, our room were right next to the exit and the entrance. He took off and we never seen him again, you know.
Who do you think he was, Brandon? Like a deserter or like?
The way I'd heard the story before, I would have assumed deserter, but the other language it's
Yeah.
interesting. I don't really.
I don't know what, like he was cussing us out or something, you know, something like this.
You had no idea what language. You knew it was different.
He was kind of, yeah. He was not German.
And he just
Definitely
snuck in the middle of the night. And thankfully, was it the smell that woke you up?
Yeah.
No.
He had real bad smell, like real heavy smoker. And maybe drinking, who knows. But anyway, from that day on, they closed the doors in the bunker, so nobody could go in and out, you know, after a certain time.
If only the Buffalo public school system could take some notes.
It was Connor, dude.
I really don't like the comparisons being made between me and this predator.
But you look great for your age. He's like, that would have been terrifying, especially when you're 8 to 10
Yes.
years old at that time.
Maybe I was a little older, maybe 10, 11.
That's still.
Because you would have been, so if you were born in 32, you would have been 12 to 13 when the war ended?
I think I was almost 15. 14, I would say.
14, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that within that time span.
right. Anyway,
And you'd go down there. So it was the evening. So during the day, you would be up and then
we've
going
been
back.
home, you know, when the sirens went off, we said, I was going to which place? Depends if we were out looking for food, of course. My mom and I, we used to go to the farmers and traded clothes or sheets, stuff, you know, for food, because we didn't have enough food, you know. And, well, anyway, my brother and I, we used to look if our house was still standing, you know. So we walked home, of course, looking. The houses were burning, you know, that nothing came down on us. And we came to this giant hole. I never forget that. Giant hole. And I said, what's this? And the closer we got, we seen that big bomb, I mean, big one. That was not exploded, you see. I don't know what they say in English, but we say Blindgänger, you know. It didn't explode.
Unexploded
And my
ordnance.
brother, smart brother, he was only a year older than I am. He said, don't move. And I was freezing there. What do you want me to do, you know? He took off. He left me standing there.
Dude, all I'm saying is me and my friends would have thrown rocks at it.
Tink,
Yeah,
tink.
let's see what happens.
Why do women live longer than men?
Let's light this candle.
And then I said, why did you do that? I was tiptoeing backwards, you know.
Yeah.
But he says, I tried to get help. I said, yeah, to tell me to stop there. But anyway,
That's a funny explanation.
yeah. So
Just a
that was,
big bomb just sitting in the middle of the road, especially at that age.
yeah, that was,
Tink,
I
tink.
know. Well, how was your view at that time? Like, what was your understanding at that age of what's going on? Like, you understood there was a war going on.
Yeah.
But was it just like, we're civilians, we're scared, we're just trying
no,
to get out
my
of the war?
mind was always, how long is it going to be? When is it over, right? That's what I always said. But it was long, long, long. Anyway, that day, then my mom got kind of restless again. She says, they've thrown bombs now in our city. They're getting closer and closer, and they get more and more, you know. So she says, you need to go to our friends in the Black Forest. We had friends in the Black Forest. And it was safe there. They didn't bomb there, you know. And I said, Mom, don't send me away again, you know. I didn't want to go. But meanwhile, before she sent me anyway, we went to, like I said, looking where we get some food. And the siren went off and said, it's too late to go to our bunker where we were in a different place. let's go home. I said, Mom, I'm hungry, let's get something to eat. And we go in our cellar. And we did. And there was another funny story. It was on the 10th of May, a day before my birthday. I said, oh, they sent me a birthday gift early.
There's that dark humor.
Yeah, I love it.
It's generations deep.
Yeah.
And, well, we made it through this one. But afterwards, we found out that cellar we used to go to when we were out, that supposed to be bomb-proof, okay? So they said. And we found out the bomb that came from the back into the cellar and killed so many people. And we went there, of course, terrified. I remember that. Went there and I found that baby, and I grabbed that baby and I cleaned the sand and the dirt and everything out, And the mother screaming where her baby is. She had half of her face missing. I seen that like yesterday. And the baby died in my arms, But there were no doctors, hospitals, nothing. Everything was a mess. So we had to tell the lady, we got your baby, just to get her calmed down, And the rest of the bodies, they brought them to school areas or restaurants, and they lined them up and covered them, And my brother was always gone, my dad. They had to help them, stupid Nazis, to build a wall up by the water. We lived right by the water, you see.
Yeah.
And they were putting like a safety wall or something, I don't know. So they were always gone. So we didn't know what happened to them. So we looked at every body, hoping we don't find them, And,
Thank you so much.
it's okay. And then everything was filled up. They put the bodies up in trucks, just, put them up in trucks. We don't know where they went or what. And anyway, another day, another alarm, right? So we went back to, I think it was our cellar, yeah. And we heard commotions. There were English plane was shut down over our city, and the parachute, the guy came down in our street, where we lived. And of course, some people, oh, there's one of them. You know how it was. It was war.
Do you remember if it was American or British or who it was?
It was not Americans.
So it was
the
British.
English came in first. The English. And so my mom, she was more outspoken than I am, but she went over there and she said, you leave that young man alone. She said, I got a son, and he's in Africa, in El Alamein.
Yeah.
He got prisoner in El Alamein and then shipped to the States, right? And she tried to protect that young man. There were 2 SS guys right there, and they arrested my mom. They said she's a country traitor. She was taken to the, I don't know where they were, their offices or whatever. And they put a sign out with other people that she was a country traitor. But I'm jumping ahead there because meanwhile there was more stuff going on. May I backtrack?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But to finish that out real quick, I think and correct me if I get any of this wrong, because this is over the course of years hearing, stories, some of them secondhand. But they said that I was told that they were about to ship her off to a concentration camp.
Right.
and then they were
Yeah, see,
liberated.
that's why I jumped ahead. I just thought about it because the English, they came. That's why they didn't have time to ship my mom out. See, because the Nazi was scattering. They took off.